Hello there. Welcome to Just the Discs. We talk about Blu-rays here and 4Ks and general collecting of physical media. And in this case, we are doing kind of a haul video. I know you guys like haul videos and episodes. And this represents, the last 2-3 months of pickups for me. It's a lot of stuff from various labels. And I'm going to do my best to go through all of this stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. So I may not be able to spend as much time as I'd like on each one, but I'm very excited about a lot of these pickups here. And they are all eligible. I believe almost all of them are eligible to be bought through DiabolikDVD. I did get several of these through Diabolik. Diabolik is one of my favorite places to go for physical media. I know you guys know them, but in case you had forgotten or in case you hadn't placed an order with them recently, here's a reminder of how much great stuff they have over at DiabolikDVD. So, like I said, I think pretty much all of these, with maybe two exceptions, are available from Diabolik. And I will go through all this stuff, but there's a lot to be excited about here, starting with Enemy Territory, 1987. This is a full moon, Charles Band production via Fox, and got a VHS release. It's from 1987. A very cool siege movie, where you have a white insurance agent who is in a African-American neighborhood in the projects and is trying to get a insurance policy signed and get the deposit for it in cash, which is like $1,000 or something, or $25, I forget. And he, on the way up to the woman's apartment, runs afoul of the local gang known as the Vampires. They are, kind of this gang that run this building that he's in. And their leader is played by the late, great Tony Todd in a very early performance. The insurance agent ends up getting some help from a telephone repairman, I think, played by the great Ray Parker Jr., he of the Ghostbusters theme fame, making an appearance here as an actor. He did that a few times, and he's really good. Stacey Dash also here. Jan Michael Vincent as a husk of a man, a Vietnam vet who is living in this building and ends up helping them out as well. So it's a cool, get down from the top kind of siege movie where they're trying to escape from the vampires, the gang. And it's just a great little action movie, a great little thriller, and a movie that I was so sure was not going to come out on disc because it hadn't thus far. I figured there must be some issue. And so I did a VHS only screening at one of the local micro cinemas here in Los Angeles. Shout out to Be Kind Video in Burbank last summer. And I was quite sure that, this was the only way I was going to get people to see it. And the folks that did come out really enjoyed it, and I was very excited to present it. But I did not think it was going to get a Blu-ray. So fast forward to 2025, and here we are. Arrow Video has put out a Region B locked Blu-ray. I don't know if that means there will be a Region A version, but we collectors know that Arrow is really the Cadillac, if they're putting out a movie, you probably want their edition of it. The encoding is better. The extras are typically better. Presentation overall. I mean, Arrow's just one of the best. They've been one of my favorites for a really long time, and they continue to stand up to that measure of quality that they've established. So anyway, this is a great Blu-ray. Looks very nice. Has some cool features, including a commentary. This is a brand new restoration from the original 35 negative by Arrow, which is great. It has a brand new audio commentary by director Peter Manoogian with film critics Dave Wayne, friend of mine who runs Snips Video in the UK. Big fan of Dave Wayne, and his buddy Maddie Butcherwitz. I'm so sorry, Maddie. I gotta pronounce your name properly. I do apologize. I was listening to this track before I jumped on here, and I'm definitely digging it. Really neat to hear Nugian's thoughts on this film. There's also another brand new audio commentary by film scholar Josh Nelson. There's something called Den of Vampires, a newly filmed interview with cinematographer Ernest Dickerson, which I did watch. It was about 14 minutes, which was great. And then there's Giving Up the Ghost, filmed interview with actor Gary Frank, who's the insurance agent that's trying to get out of the building. But very, very exciting release. Definitely going to be among my favorites of the year because it's a good movie and because it's long awaited, So that's first, okay? And then this just showed up today too. This just came up on pre-order and boom, showed up real quick. This is the new 4K and Blu-ray release of The Deadly Spawn, and this one's from Synapse. And they always do a great job. These are expensive discs, and I understand they're not for everybody, but I've always found that, they do a definitive edition. You never have to buy the movie again. And this one's interesting because, A, it's one of the great independent monster movies of the 1980s. It's from 83, and it's been a little hobbled on home video. Like, it had a DVD release. I think Synapse actually did that now that I'm... and their DVD was the best. And then there was a Blu-ray. Forgive me if that was also Synapse, but I heard there was an issue. It may not have been. Don't quote me on that. I just remember there was an issue with the Blu-ray where it was like a 1080i up-res or something, and people were saying it looked terrible, and I remember it not looking as good as I'd hoped. But this looks great. This is, brand new 4K restoration from the original uncut 16mm camera negative by Synapse, presented in 2 aspect ratios, 1:37 and 1:66. Dolby Vision HDR. For the first time ever, the audio options feature the original producer's mix as well as the 21st Century Film Corporation theatrical mix. 3 audio commentaries by producer, director, cast, and crew. Face Off, interview with actress Elizabeth Marner Brooks. Return of the Spawning Ground, a new featurette. Deadly Spawn, comic prequel sampler, various TV, blah, blah. Yeah, very excited about this set. This has got a very nice Blu-ray, and it's got a book, an actual book with it, like bound book. Yeah, it just looks like a really great set. Just one Synapse always is like surprise. Like, I thought they were working on Tag the Assassination Game, which maybe they still are. There had been an announcement about a commentary recording. Feels like a couple years ago now, but so I'm always like, oh, when are they going to drop Tag? And then boom, they drop Deadly Spawn. I'm like, well, I got to get that. So Deadly Spawn, 4K, very nice. Then from Cauldron Films, we have Brivido Giallo, 4 horror films directed by Lamberto Bava. This is their second box set. They had the previous had House of Clocks in it. I'm forgetting the name of that box set. Really nice box set with some good stuff in it, some Pulci films, some TV films. But this one's great. I only am familiar with one of the films. I have the menu for Graveyard Disturbance up on the TV there behind me. That one is the one I've seen. That was a recommendation from my friend Steve Scarlatta, director of Jodorowsky's Dune and Sharksploitation, and just a all-around great film guy, one of my buddies I've known for years. He recommended that. I watched it. I really enjoyed it. But this also includes Until Death, The Ogre, and Dinner with the Vampire as well. So a 4-disc set, all in separate cases, which I love. And, includes soundtrack CD, full-color booklet, 4 folded posters. Like, let me just look at, like, say, Graveyard Disturbance, for instance. Interview with Lamberto Bava. Interview with Gian Lorenzo Battaglia, I think is the DP. Whatever Happened to Baby Zinni. Interview with Carl Zinni. Building a Graveyard. Yeah, I mean, there's an audio commentary by Eugenio Ercolani and Nani Cabretti. So that's just one disc in here, I mean, this is a great set. This is definitely one you're going to want to pick up. So that is the Brivido Giallo. Then we have, from Vinegar Syndrome, we have A New Leaf. This is the 4K version. I had the previous Olive release, and I think this ports over most, if not all, of those features. And there were some good ones on that disc, but it has a new audio commentary by my friend, film programmer, writer, and educator KJ Ralph Miller, and Maya Montanez Smuckler, author of Liberating Hollywood Women Directors and the Feminist Reform of the 1970s American Cinema. So very, very excited to check out that commentary. KJ's a dear friend and one heck of a knowledgeable gal in terms of cinema, has great taste. And yeah, this has a new video essay by Alexandra Heller Nicholas, also really cool. And then some previously published text essays and other stuff. So very excited about A New Leaf on 4K. And then this was on sale, so I grabbed Night. This one is from VHS Hitfest and is some kind of... Night is a super unique and fun take on the vampire genre, shot exclusively in New York in the mid-90s and never officially released. Only a handful of screener VHS were given away, and it has been impossible to see until now. With a new transfer from the original master, VHS Hitfest could not be happier to awaken this lost film from its tomb. Yeah, so I'm very curious about this one. Looks pretty nutty. That's Night. That one just had to be... That was a release from them from a while back. Can't remember if I included this in my haul video, but I don't think I'd had it yet. This is Sorcerer on 4K from Criterion. I bought it during the sale at the tail end, and excited to check out this new disc. I still have an old Region B of this. I forget who did that. I don't have my Warner Brothers anymore, unfortunately, but I probably should have hung on to that. But this has got a new conversation between filmmaker James Gray and film critic Sean Fennessy, another friend of mine, that I am very curious to check out. I saw a clip of it on Criterion's Instagram. There is, let's see here, Friedkin Uncut, a documentary by Francesco Zippel featuring interviews with Friedkin, screenwriter Waylon Green, filmmakers Wes Anderson, and Francis Ford Coppola, and others. I think I've seen that, and I think I dug it. Anyway, some nice features. Sorcerer, one of the great films of the 70s, one of the great suspense films ever created. The bridge sequence, oh my god, I can't even with that. That movie's nuts. Another pickup straight from Diabolik. This is an import from a company I don't really know that well. Tygon Film Distribution. This is a special Region B locked edition of Nomads. This film, of course, by the great John McTiernan, who would go on to do Die Hard. I really like Nomads. There was a release of this on Blu-ray from Screen Factory, but this is a considerably more robust, and it's a newly scanned and restored in 2K from the original negative, uncompressed audio. New audio commentary with director John McTiernan, moderated by film writer and author Eric Lichtenfeld. Delightful Academy. Pierce Brosnan remembers Nomads. Exclusive new interview with star Brosnan on his first lead role. A fringe genre exercise. New video essay. And appraisal of the film by writer, author, and film critic Kim Newman. I mean, what more do you need, folks? And then musical Nomads interview with composer Bill Conti as well. So nice features on this Region B locked Nomads Blu-ray. Very excited about that one. Then we have the Dark City Limited 4K. Now, this one I think is out of print. I've seen people talking about this being out of print. I'm glad I pre-ordered it. One of my favorite, if not my favorite, Alex Proyas film. Director's cut, theatrical cut, 4K Ultra Limited Edition. So, director's cut, brand new 4K restoration from the 35 camera negative. 4K presentations of both the director's cut and theatrical cut, and tons of great extras. I mean, I'm excited. I obviously haven't even opened this one yet, so I'm excited to check it out. But yeah, again, Arrow, folks. They're always doing great work. And this one I'm pretty sure is going to be on my favorite discs of the year list too, just based on what I'm looking at there. Another one from the great folks at Second Sight. Talk about reliable. This is The Nice Guys 4K. I mean, there is a 4K of this in the States that's, you know, bare bones from Warner Brothers, but this is something else. This has got a book. This is one of those great limited editions from Second Sight. Let's see here. Dolby Vision, approved by director Shane Black. New audio commentary with Shane Black and co-writer Anthony Bagarossi, moderated by writer Priscilla Page. Cannot wait to hear that. I like Priscilla Page quite a bit. She's got good taste. Knights in Tarnished Armor, a new interview with Shane Black. Finding an Audience, a new interview with co-producer Ethan Irwin. 1,000 Cuts, a new interview with director of photography Philip Russello. From Lethal Weapons to Nice Guys, a video essay by Lee Singer. Always Been on Black, archive featurette. Worst Detectives Ever, archive featurette. Let's see here. 150-page hardback book with new essays by Mitchell Beaupre, Barry Forshaw, Jamie Graham, Justin Liberty, Naomi Roper, Hannah Strong, and Nadine Whitney, and 9 collector art cards. This thing is beautiful, and The Nice Guys is becoming one of my favorite movies of all time, so there was no way I couldn't get that. Some more stuff from Vinegar Syndrome, Dirty Work. Gotta admit, I'm not a huge fan of that cover. It just seems unnecessary to me. But I do like the slip cover, which is the classic image of Norm holding the fish. This is the new... it contains both the 82-minute PG-13 theatrical cut and the 83-minute dirtier cut, presented in Dolby Vision HDR, newly scanned and restored from its 35 camera negative. I did watch the new dirtier cut, and it's interesting, and it's got some more... It's got definitely some other stuff scattered throughout. The Jack Warden character, Artie Lang's dad, is a little more explicit in this version. I don't know if I prefer it. I think I might prefer the PG-13 cut, maybe it's because of what I'm used to. But nice to see this get a big old 4K release. A very funny movie, one of my favorites of the SNL spin-offs, whatever you want to call them. Just Norm Macdonald doing his bit and really doing a great job, and I laugh every time I watch it. A couple more. We have Let's Scare Jessica to Death on 4K. I bought this movie in many formats. I think I had it on VHS and then DVD and then Blu-ray and then Blu-ray again and now 4K. It's a good movie. I mean, it's a really good atmospheric horror movie. One of the best of its kind from the 70s. Heavily inspired by the Henry James novella The Turn of the Screw and Robert Wise's The Haunting. John D. Hancock's Let's Scare Jessica to Death is a somber, dreamlike, and at times utterly bone-chilling classic of early 70s terror. One of the first horror movies to make an extensive use of a synthesizer in its score, which greatly enhances the numerous shock sequences. Vinegar Syndrome is thrilled to present Let's Scare Jessica to Death, and it's newly restored in 4K from its original camera negative. So, very cool. Contains the 89-minute feature presentation presented in Dolby Vision and newly restored from its 35 camera negative with the following sound options: mono. Commentary by director John D. Hancock. New commentary with track with authors Kim Newman and Sean Hogan. Can't wait to hear that. And some other nice featurettes. But yeah, definitely an absolute, true gem of unsettling 70s horror. Let's Scare Jessica to Death. And then lastly, we have Breathless. I'm hanging on to my Fun City Edition Breathless, but I am curious to check out this 4K. Of course, this is the remake of Breathless by Jim McBride from 1983. New audio commentary with director and co-writer Jim McBride is here. New audio commentary with film writer Travis Woods. Rock and Roll as Attitude, a new video interview with Jim McBride. A Different Perspective, a new video interview with casting director Jane Jenkins. To Ensnare is to Enshrine the Ghostly Layers of Jim McBride's Breathless, a new video essay by film historian Daniel Kramer. Deleted scenes, alternate ending, with audio commentary from McBride. Booklet featuring text essays by Justin Liberty, film programmer Justine Perez Smith, and film critic Kristen Yoon-soo Kim, as well as the original production notes and lobby cards. So, a big fan of Breathless, the remake. It's very good. Now, these last two, I'm not 100% sure if you can get these at Diabolik. You might have to go to Oscilloscope's website or to Amazon or somewhere else online. But these are two of my favorite documentaries from the 1990s, and in general, two of my favorite documentaries. So I had to pick up these Blu-rays. These are brand new on Blu-ray. I'll start with The Cruise. This is Bennett Miller's documentary before he started making features like Moneyball and Capote and things. He made this incredible documentary. Sailing the streets of Manhattan atop a double-decker bus, Timothy Speed Levitch waxes philosophical as the city's most eccentric tour guide. Speed's bombastic and psychedelic poetry is captured in the documentary The Cruise, the groundbreaking debut feature film from two-time Academy Award-nominated director Bennett Miller. Remastered for its 25th anniversary, The Cruise is an ode to a bygone era and an epic, intimate portrait of a personality that can only exist in New York City. This has some additional never-before-seen footage as well. But I love this doc. Timothy Speed Levitch is just one of those personalities that you just go, wow, this guy is fascinating. Incredible knowledge of all aspects of New York City. And it's great to hear him talking about, on this street, Edgar Allan Poe did this, and then this, he just goes through a lot of cool stuff when you hear just little bits of his tour guide business. And he would later be used by Richard Linklater in Waking Life. He's got a little section in there that almost feels like it's ripped straight out of this movie because he's walking on, I think, the Brooklyn Bridge, and I go salsa dancing with my confusion. He's just such an interesting and eloquent and deeply intelligent man, and just a character, and I adore documentaries that are about characters, and both of these are, and that's, I think, part of why they're my favorites. But yeah, just a wonderful doc. So excited it's on Blu-ray. You can stream it, you can rent it on digital if you like, which I've had for years, but really excited to have physical. Now this one's really cool too. I like Killing Flies. Now this one has been on and off YouTube. I don't know if it's currently available on YouTube, but I like it so much I went out and bought the DVD, which was out of print and cost like $50, because I was like, I never want to be not able to watch this movie. And this movie, documentarian and longtime customer Matt Mahurin follows chef and proprietor Kenny Shopson and his family as they face the gentrification of New York's Greenwich Village, which threatens the continued existence of Shopson's general store. Now they have, it's basically a little diner. And I Like Killing Flies captures Kenny as he not only conjures comfort food on his Frankenstein stove from a menu containing hundreds of dishes, but as he serves up more sets of wit and wisdom on work, family politics, sex, and even cooking. Mahurin believed Kenny's brilliance transcended the four walls of his corner eatery and needed to be shared with those who would never have the chance to partake of Kenny's food for the belly and the soul. And this has a little something called Cooking with Kenny short film by Matt Mahurin, which I would assume is maybe the inspiration for this doc. This one's from 2004. But yeah, Kenny, truly a one-of-a-kind original, just like Speed Levitch. His philosophies about life are fascinating. He's a very blue-collar guy, but he's still, I think everybody will be able to relate to him. And he's kind of ornery. The restaurant has some very interesting specific rules. I don't want to get into it. You should watch to see how he enforces those rules. But people can get banned and never, asked to return, are never able to return. But yeah, the menu is incredibly deep, and he does all kinds of interesting stuff. He's got a cookbook that I recommend you check out. I have the cookbook. I didn't bring it for this recording, but it's a book that I love and have used extensively to try to recreate some of his dishes. But there's a lot of cool, fun philosophy in the book as well, and it's just great. So anyway, so excited this is on Blu-ray now. Again, you can get it through Oscilloscope or some other places online, but I adore I Like Killing Flies. It is just, yeah, it's one of my favorite kinds of docs. So check out The Cruise and I Like Killing Flies for sure. Boy, all right, that'll do it for this round of stuff. So much stuff. But I will be back very soon to talk about some more Blu-rays with y'all. So thank you so much for tuning in.